Have you ever stopped to think about the fans behind a band? What is it about the music that keeps fans coming back for more? Or is there more? My name is Renae Lipsmeyer, and I am the host of this podcast, The Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. Each week, a fellow DMB fan joins the show to discuss their journey with the band. Welcome to the Space Between Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to the North Pole. Actually, we're in Arkansas, but welcome to Arkansas. This is a special edition of the Space Between Podcast, and it is the last podcast of the year. 2024 has been a great year. I didn't think that we could top it. I say it every year. I don't think we can top the last year, and every year it gets topped. So that makes me excited because 2025 is on its way. It's almost here. It's almost here, 2025, and there's already some exciting things that have come out that is happening. Brazil. What up? Mexico. I don't want to skip that. Mexico's first. And then they have announced that they're going to Brazil in June. First weekend of June, which is, I know that because that is when I planned my family vacation because I knew the band would be in Brazil and I was safe that weekend. So I was like, you know what, guys, thanks for telling me your plans because that makes it easier to plan my family vacation.
She has always said that Dave is her travel agent.
He's such a good one. He's taken me to so many places. And
he's allowed you to go to other places when he's not playing.
It's been a good year. So if you are not watching this on YouTube, I have my husband with me today on this very last episode. I just want to close out the year with him. I'm going to start the year with him. And so I'm going to end the year for real and on this podcast. We're recording this the day before Christmas Eve. I know that this is coming out on Christmas. So Merry Christmas to all of you that are listening on Christmas Day. And for those of you that are listening after, I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas and that it was full of love and laughter and family and just love. That's the most important thing. And that's what we're going to talk about today because Christmas is the season of love. And so we are going to talk about a very popular Dave Matthews Band song. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I have heard of it. I don't know much about it. I may have heard it once, maybe twice, but I'm very unfamiliar with it. So
I always say on the show that I love meeting people that are interested in the Dave Matthews Band but don't know everything.
You hit the jackpot with me.
It's an opportunity to share more information. And so with it being Christmas season, of course, we're going to talk about the song, the one and only Christmas song by the Dave Matthews Band, which was actually written by Dave Matthews many, many, many years ago. We are in 2024, almost into 2025, and this band started in 1991. Do you remember what you were doing in 1991?
Well, I would have been 10 going on 11 in 1991.
What were you up to?
I was probably up to no good, doing 10 and 11-year-old things, finding out things
were we
about
smoking
myself.
Cigarettes yet?
No, I hadn't smoked cigarettes yet. I didn't start that till I was about 14.
14.
So I still had a few more years of innocence.
Yes.
I was probably just riding my bike around during the summertime and just having a grand old time being 10, loving life, maybe.
No worries at 10, right?
Maybe fighting my brother to play the Nintendo or something like
Those
that. I don't know.
Big problems when you were 10.
The struggle was real.
It was
in the
at
90s.
the time.
The struggle was real.
It was.
I hadn't yet come into my musical forte, if you will.
Gotten your taste
It
yet.
was a few years before I really got some quality 90s grunge into my system. That's kind of my musical background favorite is the grunge era.
Do you remember where you headed first when you went into the grunge? Who was your first?
Oh, Nirvana, 100%.
Yeah.
100% Nirvana, all the way. Then Soundgarden, and that's where I found my still favorite artist of all time, which is Chris Cornell, which I think I might have said here on the show once or twice.
Well, he's worth mentioning again.
Chris Cornell is amazing voice. Rest in peace.
Yes.
Wish
If you
I
are
had
still
had a
there.
chance to get to see him. Wish I'd have taken the opportunity to get to see him when I had the chance, and I did not. And then it's passed me by. So
You know, if the Dave Matthews Band comes to your town or in the near area,
vicinity.
you should go, even if you're not the biggest fan, because here we are again. They started in 91. They've been touring nonstop. I mean, there's been a little bit of pauses in that time, but for the most part, been producing, making music and touring heavily for over 30 years. I mean,
It's incredible.
how long can it go on? They could all do something separately. And I think Dave will. I think he'll be an old man that's on tour at his leisure, though, right? Like in his
Sure.
own timing and not pressed to do 50, 60 shows. But like we're on break right now with the Dave Matthews Band. They're not, the next thing they're slated for is May in North Carolina. I think the whole band.
One of the festivals.
Yeah, I think it's the first thing that the band that we know of is out there.
We all know end of January, beginning of February is kind of when they release the dates for any potential tours. And I know there's been a lot of. Let me preface this by saying, obviously, I'm not the biggest Dave Matthews fan in general. I have been brought into this world lovingly by my wife here. But I do follow a lot of the social media pages and things like that. So, I scroll around and see things here and there. And I know a lot of people are talking about if they're going to be playing much at all in 2025. Everybody's got question marks and wondering what's going to happen and a little worried for a lot of folks out there because they may not get to see their favorite band very much, if at all, in 2025 if they don't produce a summer tour potentially. So,
I mean, it's going to happen one day. It may not be in 2025, but it's going to happen one day. So I guess just, if you get a chance to see them. Or, thank God for the couch tour because there really is that whole, like, not everyone can go to a show. The Dave Matthews Band doesn't go everywhere. So if you've never heard of the couch tour, it's a group on Facebook that literally allows you to be at every show virtually for free.
Yep.
You just have to have a Facebook account and you apply to join that group. It's probably just some simple questions. If you're looking for live Dave Matthews Band concerts, you're going to know the answers to these questions.
I promise you, if I can get in, which I am in, you can get in.
But it gives you the opportunity to see every show live, no matter where it's at in the world. So when they're in Brazil in June, if you want to be watching them in Brazil, you just go to facebook.com, as I like to say. And you
forgot the www.
Type in the DMB couch tour and boom, you're in Brazil. No money. Look, you traveled all the way to Brazil for free while you paid for your internet. So that's a cheap summer trip, right?
Cheap trip.
That's hard to say. A cheap summer trip. So I've got some surprises. So again, if you've been listening to this podcast, which I have over 165 episodes now.
It's crazy.
Ending
it's crazy
2024 with like over 160 episodes. If you've listened to any of this, you know that I'm not a planner. So when I record, it's kind of just off the cuff. Like we're going to see what happens because this isn't live. I'm not super worried. I know I can edit it if something crazy happens. But I like to just kind of roll and see how things go. And so part of that is this episode, we're going to do some phone a friends, and the friends know. So I'm not,
okay.
I mean, I'd like to just cold call them and be like, hey, what are you doing? But
you're not that bold.
I mean, I am, but
I would not be that bold.
I don't know. Let's make a phone call right quick. She knows that I'm going to call. So, all right, guys, here we go. We're going to phone a friend here on the Space Between podcast live. Here we go.
Hello?
Is this Candy?
Yeah. Hi, friend. How are you?
Hey, Candy, you are live on the Space Between podcast. Thank you so much for answering your phone.
Anytime. What's up?
So I wanted you to come on because, number one, every time I look back at my shows for 2023, 2024, you always come to mind as one of the funniest shows. And I mean that in the most loving way, but like you almost had me pee my pants. And I consider that a really good show if I've gotten the urge to pee.
It was so fun.
It was so fun. So, guys, if you haven't listened to Candy's episode, I can't remember when we did it. Look back. It's easy to find it because the episode is her name, so you can find it. Candy Norman. Look for it anywhere. But Candy, I called you because I wanted you to just tell me without any warning and without any thinking about this. What was your favorite Dave moment in 2024?
Hello, everybody. This is Dave Rich from the Eddie Casino Band out in Las Vegas. We're really excited to get this journey going, celebrating our music, our original music, on all platforms. We just released our first single over Labor Day weekend called Eddie Casino. If you're looking for new music, look out for our next single coming out to Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Apple Music. These guys in the band are really excited to get started playing music for you all. If you like Tom Petty, Zach Brown, Jason Mraz, Dave Matthews Band, Rob Thomas, Jimmy Buffett, Pink Floyd, Stapleton, Bare Naked Ladies, Goose, Billy Strings, Sting and the Police, a ton of influences that we bring to the table. Hope you enjoy our music and look forward to seeing you soon live on stage.
Absolutely, hands down, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony with my husband.
Absolutely. That's a good one.
Absolutely. Yes. Top 4 life moment there.
That's a big one. And yeah. I think that would be a lot. I had not even thought about it, honestly. But yeah, that's one of those moments in this year that will never happen next year. And it didn't happen last year. And it has never happened and it will never happen again. And so what an amazing year to get to be a fan of the Dave Matthews Band.
Yes. That whole day was so awesome because we went up early, hung out with some friends from Dayton, then went over to the venue and rocked it out for 6 hours and finished it up with our boys getting inducted.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. I hate that I didn't get to see you. I say that at like every concert. Like I'm gonna go find whoever, and then I can never find them because we want to see everybody, right?
It is, and the more that you're like a Dave fan, the bigger your family grows. And so it becomes harder to see everybody that you want to.
It's true.
But all that means is that we have to have more and more concerts so that we can catch up.
Yeah, Dave Matthews and the Dave Matthews Band. Did you hear that?
Yes.
If you're listening to this podcast, just listen to Candy. I mean, Candy, you had your pants down for Dave. So I'd like to think.
They were gone. They were just totally gone. I mean, come on now.
I feel like he needs to hear your story, and I'm sure you're not going to be the first girl with no pants on that was, near him, but yeah, no, not gonna be. But it's a great story, and it makes me laugh every time.
Oh my gosh,
every time. But
such ridiculousness.
That's what makes me laugh, and I think a lot of people enjoy ridiculousness. I mean, there was a whole show called Ridiculousness. It's one of my favorite, like mindless shows to watch.
Great mindless show to watch.
Hilarious.
Absolutely.
It's hilarious, except for that mom cringe that I do a little bit. I'm like, oh God, I hope they met their deductible. Like such responsibility.
Well, that's because we work in the medical field and we hear so much about deductibles, so that's where we immediately go to.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
It is.
Well, yep. Candy, thank you so much for joining the show live. We will definitely talk with you in 2025, but Merry Christmas, and thanks for being a friend of the show.
Merry Christmas, guys. We'll see you next year.
Bye, Candy.
Bye, Candy.
All right, bye.
So definitely check out Candy's episode. She had a great story about how she really did think she was going to get to talk to Dave Matthews or meet Dave Matthews when she was out at the Gorge, which, if you're not familiar with that, it's a massive venue in the state of Washington. It's a venue that most Dave Matthews Band fans, people that tend to travel to see him, that's like one of the number one places you'll hear when people are giving suggestions on where you you should see them other than just at your local venue in Arkansas.
It's one of the meccas, I would say.
Local venues in Arkansas, because so many of you are in the state of Arkansas. I think we're up to 50 Dave Matthews Band fans in Arkansas now.
Really?
I think so.
Hey, can we get to 100?
Can we make it 100? Can we do it? I mean, we know that there's more because Dave does grace with his.
He does.
Grace is not gone when he is here. It is present. He comes, let's see, he came in 2023. So last year, I feel like it's been 10 years. Like, when was the last time? It was last year.
Scheduled 2020. That got pushed back, obviously, to 2021 and then 2023. And 2025 would be next in line if they do their summer tour. So
come on. It's a small venue.
Yeah, we shall see.
It's Arkansas. You know you've always wanted to go there.
Absolutely.
It's the Ozark Mountains.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It really is pretty up here.
Yeah, Dave is the best
Or
tour
down
guide,
here.
so he will not let you down. So definitely check out Candy's episode. Again, there's like 165 episodes. So, I have I have two more people that we're going to call. And,
Okay.
and the fun part of this is you don't even know. It's like a surprise for you
I have
and
no
everyone
idea
that's
what
listening.
she's playing.
Like, I don't. So, okay, next phone a friend. Let's see. What are we going to ask her? I mean, I like the 2024, but I'm afraid that everyone's going to say the best thing of 2024 was the Rock and Roll. Because, I mean, that's a top, obviously.
Absolutely. If you're a Dave Matthews Band fan, which if you're listening, you
if you're
probably
listening to
are.
this podcast.
I would imagine that would be everyone's number one answer if they went. Now, I'm sure obviously not everybody got to go, but they were very well represented there. I will tell you that.
Very.
I would say easily half the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Half the crowd.
It was so good.
But a lot of people are going to give that answer. So I don't know. Is there another question that you think that you might?
You know what? We're just gonna wing it here, but I think I can do it. Here we go. Guest number 2.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Jen. You are live on the Space Between podcast. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. So good to be back again.
I know you've been on the show. Is it 15 times now, Jen? Is that
I've lost count. It's too many. Never enough. I mean, it's never enough.
That's like 5 times more than me, Jen.
You got some catching up to do, Justin.
I know it. Don't worry. I'm here in every one of the backgrounds most of the time.
So, guys, if you're listening to this, if this voice does not sound familiar to you, this is a great friend of the show, Miss Jen Ryder. Jen, you have got to do a lot of spectacular things in 2024 with the Dave Matthews Band. I know that there's one story that really sticks out to you. And I know I can ask you this. Yes, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame sticks out, of course, to everyone. But I know that you had a very personal story this year, a personal thing that happened to you. And of course, you came on the show and you told us. But if someone hasn't listened to your episode, give us like the 1-minute synopsis of what happened to you this year.
Well, it was at the Gorge. And I had been trying for months to get a special gift to Buddy because he is a diehard Celtics fan. And I had a wonderful framed piece of the Celtics championship floor from 2008 to get to him. And I tried multiple avenues to try to get this to him. And it came down to being told to bring it to the Gorge, which I did. I brought it all the way across the country, packed it in my suitcase, lugged it around with me, and was finally able to make the handoff to someone on the crew of the Dave Matthews Band. And they, in turn, delivered it to Buddy himself for me. And the best thing that happened from it was that Buddy sent me a personalized video thanking me for the gift and how wonderful it was. And it was just such a great memory and moment. I actually still watch the video to this day. I go back and rewatch it.
It's pretty cool because he says your name and he made it very personal to you, a thank you video. You need one of those digital frames in your house, and that's the only picture, the only video that plays. And so whoever walks in your house,
every time I walk by, it'll play.
Yes,
like, Buddy's talking to me
What's
all
up,
the time.
buddy?
all your guests will see it, and it'll just be like a story that you have to tell every time. Well, that's Buddy back in.
I'll have to send a last minute memo to Santa about that.
Yes,
So he'll bring
that's
it to
a
me.
great idea. Yeah. Well, we can't thank you enough for being such a big supporter of the show. 2024 was an amazing year for all of us. I mean, we still have the band playing. They're still active. They're still planning for 2025. And so thank you for just being a big supporter of the show and for continuing to help share the story of the fans of the Dave Matthews Band.
What's up, everybody? This is David with the Dave Matthews Tribute Band. We're a nationally touring tribute to DMB, playing shows all over the country and beyond. Our goal is to bring you back to the classic sound that you fell in love with in the 90s and the 2000s, featuring a violin, saxophone, and maybe some keyboards sprinkled in as well. You can find out information about all of our tours and shows by visiting thedmtb.com. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram and other socials by searching the Dave Matthews Tribute Band or the DMTB. Hope to see you on the road and enjoy the Space Between podcast.
I love hearing everyone's stories every single week when a new episode comes up. Everything is so different from everybody. And it just makes me smile to hear how this band has touched so many people.
It's crazy. I know. It's crazy. Well, Jen, we love you. We will see you very soon. But if we don't talk to you before Christmas, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I know that I will get to see you in January in Mexico, which is very exciting.
I know. It's coming up.
It's going to be here in no time. I mean, for me, it's like my Christmas, which is sad to say, but it's a big deal.
It is. It'll be my first time, so I can't wait.
That'll be fun.
Counting down the minutes and hours and days. I can't wait to get there.
Well, awesome. Well, we love you, and we will see you in Mexico.
Sounds good. Happy holidays,
Jen.
Renae and Justin.
Happy holidays, sweetie. Bye-bye.
Bye.
She is a sweetheart. If you don't know Jen Ryder, she's an amazing lady. She heads up the DMB Fit crew.
No, she doesn't, but she is in it.
Oh,
she's part of it.
Who heads up the DMB? I'm sorry. Is that Kayla?
You put me on the spot. Oh my goodness, I can't think of her name right now. But
Kayla?
no, Kayla is in it too.
Oh.
Maybe she does heads it up. But the DMB Fit crew was on the show. If you're not familiar with them, of course, it's just another group on Facebook that is specifically for Dave Matthews Band fans, but to really kind of just encourage health and wellness, whether that be working out physically, taking time to pour into yourself mentally, spiritually, just to make yourself a whole person. And they focus on all of those aspects. And so there are all kinds of dietitians, nurses, doctors, therapists in that group to really kind of help you with any questions that you may have, because that's something that comes up. We're all getting older, right?
Yeah.
As Dave Matthews Band fans, there are some young ones out there, but for the most part, we're in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yes.
And so health is one of those concerns because we do want to live. We do want to see tomorrow. And so definitely check out DMB Fit Crew. Jen is, like you said, a big part of that group, and she works out every day. And there's a lot of accountability in that group.
There's a lot of support.
Support. So if that's something that is on your agenda for 2025, as far as making a
New Year's
resolution, definitely check that group out. Again, it's just DMB for Dave Matthews Band Fit Crew. And I'm sure there's some questions to answer or something like that. But again, if you're listening to this podcast, you will know the answers.
You will pass with flying colors.
You're going to make an A on that test because you found this podcast. So we do.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, and you're welcome. I do have one more person on the line. I know that this person is just waiting for the phone to ring.
Oh,
waiting. But
I
you know
bet
what?
I know who this is.
But you know what? I am going to make this person wait a little bit longer because I do want to kind of shift back and forth.
Sure.
As I like to do. So again, earlier we talked about how this is the Christmas episode, and I don't want to forget that as we're just reflecting over the past year. It's been such an amazing year. So many great things have happened. so blessed to still be married. And I say that with the most love.
She does.
But this man, this podcast has been a lot of work, and I won't deny it anytime now. It's been a lot of work coming from someone that has no background in producing shows or I've always been a storyteller, but not in this way. And so it's been tough on you. So thanks for supporting the show. And
there's been
being
tough
a cheerleader.
moments, I won't lie. But overall, I couldn't be more proud. I mean, she's been doing this for over 2 years now. And if you look at some of the early podcasts and the early videos and things of that nature, to where it's at now, I think you've hit your groove, you hit your niche, and you have made an amazing work of art.
Thank you.
For people to listen to and to be able to feel included in what you're doing, because you're getting these folks' stories from all over the country, and in some cases outside of the country.
Yeah, all over the world.
And it's been amazing. It's been amazing to watch. It's like, I don't want to equate it because you're not like my kid, obviously, but the only thing I can think of is like watching your kid kind of grow up and get better at what they love to do in a way. I know that sounds weird.
No, yeah.
But watching you, someone who I obviously deeply love.
Thank you.
To learn and grow in this medium, it's been awesome. So
it's been fun. It's been challenging.
Yes, there's been challenges.
It's been challenging.
But overall,
but it's good. Somehow I'm still employed and get paid at a different job. Thank you, Jesus, because I need to get paid.
Amen.
This is free. This podcast costs me money. It don't pay me nothing. So thank God I'm still employed. I still have a job, and I still have a lot of stories to tell on this podcast. We know that there's over 30,000 Dave Matthews Band fans, and I only have 170 episodes. So there's still a lot of room for growth. Of course, that really does require people to come forward and share their journey with the band. It's as simple. If you've listened to any of my episodes, it's really as simple as just having a conversation with me, and let's talk about Dave. Let's talk about music. Let's talk about how it makes you feel. There's so many amazing stories out there, and so I encourage you to jump into one. If you don't like one episode, that's okay. Not every episode is going to be for everyone. And even my husband has told me that, like that episode I just couldn't really get into, and so I skipped to the next one, and I wasn't offended by that. That's totally fine. And there's a story for everyone that you're supposed to hear. And so definitely don't discard it if you just found one or two and you're like, oh, the rest are crap. I mean, try all 165. It gets good. There's some good stuff out there. There's some funny stuff talking about Candy and her no pants around Dave Matthews. I don't think any underwear too. So it was a whole story. I
have not listened to that one yet. That's on my next list.
Funny. I've had people on the show that were butlers at the Playboy Mansion in 2024. That story was very interesting. He's a professor now, believe it or not. Wow. So it's so cool to hear these stories over 30 years, because in 30 years we've done a lot of changing, right? We've done some growing up, and so it's a reflection of our lives, but through music. And so it's really a beautiful way to kind of share your life, but in a different way. And so I do want to talk about the elephant in the room. Again, if you're not watching this on YouTube, we have a YouTube channel. All of the episodes, well, mostly all of the episodes, thank God, the very first one isn't on YouTube. Actually, I wish it was. Well, the teaser episode, whatever, it was fine. It was done in a restaurant. But the first episode, I had some legit guests, and I'm so thankful. I wish I did have that on video, but the rest of them, maybe not. But so this tree, this was my first year to do a Dave tree. And so I'd seen a lot of things online, people done with their swag, because that's such a big question, is like, you go to these shows and you collect all these things, and they're amazing, and people have spent their hard time and money and resources to get these things done, and mostly giving them away just for free, just as like a love bomb from one fan to the other. So we have collected hundreds of these wristbands.
She has collected
He
hundreds.
has some.
I have
personal
about
collection.
20, maybe.
We have. So
Just clarifying.
if you've never been to a Dave show and you've never gotten swag before, that's one of the things the fans are known for, is giving swag to each other. And it's very personalized swag. So each of these bracelets that you see on this tree, this is not even a drop in the bucket of what I have, but I can pull one off and I look and I see this is from 2023 parking lot attendant. That's what that one says. Some of them are very personalized, like Omaha 22. I know you found one earlier. This one was Dave and Tim Mexico 2024, which you found one earlier that you said you liked.
My favorite one?
Yeah, which one?
It's this one right here. This one is my favorite one. Is it okay if I call you mine from here on out?
Absolutely.
That is kind of our song,
It
if
is.
you would. So this is now my favorite bracelet.
I don't know who gave it to me.
I'm
going to
steal it once this tree goes down.
So we have all these bracelets. We have some glasses. That's another thing. If you're familiar with the glasses that I have here,
What up, Al?
there's glasses that say all kinds of different things. I've got Hollywood on here. I've got some fire dancers, Texas 3-step, break free, DMB 41, whatever you want. Al Henschel has it. And Al was on the show season 1, right out the gate, was like, yes, I want to be on your show, because he has a really unique fan story. He wanted to, I remember he said he wanted to elevate his fan experience. And he thought, how can I do that? He explained that he was really kind of a crafty dude, like to make things with his hands. And he came up with the idea to personalize sunglasses with Dave Matthews Band themed words. You can customize them. He has a lot to choose from. If you're not wanting something specific, or if you're specific, he probably has it made up. He will do whatever. And this is just a fan that has created literally a movement at a concert. I've not been to a show, and I've been to shows all over the United States and in Mexico. And there's not one show that I've been to that I didn't see at least one person with these glasses on. He has taken over the fan world in a big way. And his story is really cool. So definitely check out his episode, Al Henschel. I believe that episode is called Shade. Does anyone want shade? Something about shade, season 1, but check out Al Henschel's story. Again, this is just fans of the Dave Matthews Band coming on to share kind of what they do with this music, what this music has inspired them to do, and what the music, it almost seems like every story turns into something good. Like it's pushed them to do better. It's pushed them to do good. It's gotten them through things that were hard. And so just so many good stories, So Christmas, of course, is what we're talking about. And so Christmas song is one of those songs. It's like the only song I think that I hear, that I think of Dave Matthews Band Christmas songs. Like that's the only one. There's no other. I don't think Dave Matthews Band has never done an all Christmas album or anything like that.
That would be interesting.
I'd buy it.
I would love to hear some Christmas songs,
jazzy,
on their versions of Christmas songs. That would be pretty cool.
I wish you a Merry Christmas. I mean, buddy, come on. I could make these guys so much more money. Every episode, I'm like, hire me as your marketer. I know what the fans want. Let me be the fan representative. I would love it.
She would love it.
I would love it, and I would do a good job. So Christmas song is what we think about. And I think that song in general really raises some red flags for a lot of listeners when it comes to Dave Matthews Band. I think across the board that we can say that Dave Matthews as a person really kind of has not said a lot about his religion or faith or beliefs, but he has said he's agnostic, meaning that he doesn't believe that there is a God, but he doesn't believe that there is not a God. So he's just existing here and
almost
kind of
like
seeing what
indifferent.
happened. Indifferent.
In a way.
But there's a lot of things that people say, and we're all guilty of analyzing what people said and what do they mean when they say those things. But Christmas Song is one of those songs that really make you question the idea of faith in the Dave Matthews Band world, especially when we've been really pushed to believe that he is not religious as far as Jesus Christ and those teachings. And so I did something kind of fun. I am living in 2024. Got a podcast. I'm doing the best I can as a 45-year-old woman. And I have had the most fun with this new thing called AI. I love it. It's cool. It tells me shit that I don't know. And I don't know if it's true, but it has helped me in some words to talk about Christmas Story or Christmas Song. Christmas Story. That's not a Dave Matthews Band song. No. That is a movie with a bunny in it, a bunny suit. Yeah. So I tell AI something like this. I said, write me a summary or a report. I said something like that about Christmas Song from the Dave Matthews Band. So number one, Dave Matthews wrote this song himself. This was, it appeared on the album in 1993, Remember Two Things, which was the very first album that they ever released. So
the first live album?
Yeah, the very first album ever in general.
First album?
Yeah.
But it was a live
Remember
album?
Two Things.
Or no?
Yeah, it was live album. It says, yeah, it's live album. Again, I have to read about stuff in 93 because I was 12. I wasn't there, man. I'm learning. So if we're wrong, like, message me and be like, hey girl, like I was there. Here's the real answer. Because I don't know. But AI is telling me that, that came out on 1993. It's been out on other live recordings. So obviously it's a song that is sang often, but not very often. If you're not familiar with it, I definitely dive into it. I know that that's a song that Justin's not super familiar with.
I am not.
I will admit it's not a song that I have heard that I've been drawn to and like, you know what I'd really like to hear right now is Christmas Song. Like that's never occurred. But here we are talking about it because it's Christmas, right? This is the Christmas episode. So I just wanted to let's dig in a little bit. So the song itself kind of has a theme. Obviously Christmas being the theme. But if we really break down the words, let's just start verse 1. She was his girl. He was her boyfriend, soon to be his wife. Take him as her husband. So the song starts with Mary and Joseph's relationship, if we want to believe that it's about Mary and Joseph. So it's very easy to see how that could be linked together because, girlfriend, boyfriend, soon to be wife, soon to be husband. That was the relationship that Mary and Joseph had. Verse 2, into this world with no room left in the inn. He's laying in the manger, a silent little baby. So before we started recording, I read that verse to Justin and he was like, yeah, well, that right there is kind of like it. Like that's about.
I was questioning if the song was indeed about the birth of Jesus, if you will, because I had not read the lyrics. I didn't know anything about the song. And the first verse, I was like, yeah, but that could be about
boyfriend, girlfriend, like
millions of people,
anybody. Yeah,
right. Well, that second verse, that's pretty specific.
Lying in the manger. Let's go a little bit further, shall we? Into the Christmas song.
We shall.
Okay, listen to this. No room left in the inn. What? I mean, that right there. Again, the similarities. I don't know if that's what Dave's talking about, but there's some similarities there. And then the song just goes into how Dave kind of sings. I want to sing so badly, but I can't. Like love, 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 love is all around. In that song, that's kind of something that he's like strumming that guitar and singing love, love, love. I just love that part of it because it's so like innocent and sweet, and like the way he sings it is very. I don't know. It's just very. Full of love. I hate to say that, but like the way he says that is just like you can tell that he means it. So we go into verse 3, and we're gonna call this friend soon here, but I just wanted to dive into this a little bit. Verse 3, Father up above, why in all this hatred do you fill me up with love? So here, maybe it's talking about Jesus's adult life and focusing on like how he taught people to love, but he was like one of the most hated people at that time, right? And
well, that reminds me, like when you first read me that, the first thing I thought of was when Jesus was on the cross and he said, oh God, why have you forsaken me?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of was my first go-to with that verse there that you have said, because he was filled with love and in a world surrounded by hate.
So much hate, yeah, and still is. So verse 4, and we'll close up. This one again kind of hits the nail on the head if we're talking about
easy with the nail references.
Oh gosh, I didn't even do that purposely, but it there. Yep, I said
there it
it.
Is.
I didn't mean it, but hey, yeah, Jesus was nailed to the cross. So verse 4 of Christmas Song by Dave Matthews Band. Later on, they took his body down. They wrapped him up in a white linen. Just in the comparisons of those words in a Christmas song with all the other things that you've heard me say before, it'd just be really hard to convince me that this song is not about the birth of Jesus and the life of Jesus. And this is no reflection on the beliefs of Dave Matthews.
Sure.
I believe that you can write a story that is not personal. It is a story that you've been told, a story that you've heard, not necessarily you believe it.
Sure.
But it's a story that I believe he's heard. He wrote a song about it and called it the Christmas song because it is what a lot of us think about why we celebrate Christmas and why Christmas is called what it is. Christmas. It's Christ. Correct. And so, it's a religious holiday for so many of us. Is it to Dave Matthews? I don't know, but we're just talking about the words that he's put on paper and pen and sang for years. And so, I wanted to talk about that because this is the Christmas episode. And so I think now is the time. I think I've let him sit and marinate. I think I've said him because let's see. It's been a hot minute since I texted him, and he was like, I'm ready. Okay. And that was over an hour ago. Well, here we go. Let's see. Caller number 3. Ding, 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 ding.
Who's it going to be?
Who's it going to be?
I have an
idea. Who's it going to be? I think he knows who it's going to be. Calling him on a school night.
I swear, you guys just like to call me right when this gummy is just kicking in.
Welcome to the Christmas episode, Ben Parker.
Hello,
you are
Mr.
live on the Space Between podcast. I like how you enter the podcast going, you call me when my gummy's hitting.
It is kicking hard right now.
That's the most perfect time.
This is the best time to talk to you. So we are talking about, we just got through talking about, and I'm gonna ask you this first because you're a little bit high, and so I think you're open or a lot. I'm not measuring right now. We just talked about Christmas Song by the Dave Matthews Band because, of course, this is our Christmas episode. So, what are your thoughts on Christmas Song? Any thoughts or feelings? What are your, do you read anything into that as far as what it's about? Just off the cuff, what are your thoughts on Christmas Song?
Great song, number one. I got it in West Palm 2 years ago. But, that's something where I wish that, I wish you'd play it more.
Yeah.
I mean, because I do like the song a lot and stuff. I mean, it's just, and it's actually kind of funny too, because, Dave always says that, whether whether there is a God or not and stuff like that. But it's just kind of funny how he always sings about God.
Yeah. We were just talking about that, Justin and I, because we kind of read through the lyrics of Christmas Song and how if you're just simply reading the verses, it would be hard to convince me otherwise that song is not exactly about the birth and life of Jesus Christ. Now, I told Justin, I said, I don't think that that's a reflection of anyone's particular beliefs when it comes to the Dave Matthews Band, but I do believe that song is about the story of Jesus. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I agree.
Simple. I agree. This is a podcast. It really works better if you talk. I agree. The end. Does that gummy make you shut up or talk more?
Gummies make me shut up more.
Yeah, I would say he's been very quiet from the normal Ben Parker that I know.
Literally, it's just something there where it's just, yeah.
Okay.
I become opposite because you know me.
I do know
I'm
you.
usually very talkative.
You're a chatty Cathy.
Hey.
That's not a knock.
No, it's not a bad thing.
It's just a fact.
It's just a Kathy that chats.
You could be. I got a new one for you. Instead of a chatty Cathy, you're a barking Ben.
Hey, is he laughing or snoring?
You don't like that one?
Hey, so Ben,
I love you.
I was thinking of bitchin' Ben, but
bitchin'
I didn't say that.
I like to call you Captain Ben because you've been the captain of the podcast for a while now. I think 2024, you really kind of got into your groove of maybe holding down the podcast when Renae wanted a minute to breathe. And I appreciate it. I know Justin appreciates it.
100%.
Thank you for being such a big supporter of the show and always being willing to jump in even when it's 9:47 and you're high. You're like, yeah, I'll come on the podcast. You're just ready. And I appreciate it.
Oh man. And I went to more shows than you did.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't even know how many shows I went to this year. That's crazy that I don't know that right now. Off the top of my head, I think 10 is.
Oh, you went to 10?
I think so. I do because it went from 1 to 10 real fast.
Yeah, that's true. She went a lot to the early ones. I went to a few myself, and then we went to Texas, and then after that, where'd you go?
I went to Colorado.
You did go to Colorado. That's right. 2 nights there. Greenwich Village.
I don't think there has been anything else other than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think that's. I mean, that was. Oh, Bourbon and Beyond. I knew we were missing something. Festival. I was like, I feel like. So basically, we went to one every month.
Kind of.
That's not enough. I hardly went to any, but just once a month.
One a month.
One a month.
Actually, I think we tied.
Oh.
But the nice thing was that we went to a lot of different too.
We did, but we went to a lot of the same.
Why is that nice? Because you weren't around us? What are you trying to say?
Yeah, I know.
No, because the podcast got to be out there more.
Yeah.
Yes,
true,
of course.
Jeez Louise, read between the lines, Justin.
Oh, well,
I don't read very well.
Oh, he's from Arkansas, remember?
From Arkansas.
Hey, so I've had a couple of other people on the show before you today. We saved, one of the biggest helpers, the captain of the podcast, to kind of be the end of the show. So thank you for coming in the rear. I appreciate it.
Rear. Wow.
This is the Christmas episode. We have to make it a little inappropriate.
And if you want to see me blush, just watch that clip.
She's like, my wife needs to stop talking. Right?
Or we need to go to the bedroom.
Oh, hey. So Ben, again, thank you for coming in last today. We appreciate that. So I want to ask you what I've asked everyone else that has come on the show today, just to kind of reflect on 2024. If you have to name one moment from the Dave Matthews Band tour season, or obviously your personal tour season, whatever that looked like, is there any moment that just really sticks out to you?
I mean, like that tour opener for Tampa and stuff. Okay, so this is gonna be the moment that kind of sticks out for me.
Okay.
But literally, I got to bring, what was it, like 9 strangers together in a house over at because I got an Airbnb for friends, and I was able to go on ahead and like all these friends that I had, they didn't know each other.
Right.
And so I think the part that sticks out for me is that there's a group chat, and you're in it too.
I know.
And it's just cool to me that total strangers that only had like one common friend, really, that was me, like are like the best of friends right now.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's adulting. It's how we make friends.
It is adulting, yes.
Such a great example of how adults make friends. Concerts.
Yep, exactly.
Concerts. Who would have thunk
We
it?
all love Dave Matthews. So.
We love Dave. What? Who? What? Well, I think that's a great memory. Tampa was fantastic. I like West Palm Beach only just because Justin like scooted in, skeet, right at the end. He like showed up as Dave picked up the guitar, and I was like, "Damn, Dave waited on you, baby."
And I got to be there for the very first P&P into Pig.
Did. Yes, you did.
That was the first. I want to say that was the first time they had ever altered from the P&P Rapunzel.
That was a big deal.
True.
That was huge. And then we got to see.
And you had some nice front row seats on the lawn.
Yeah, thanks to Ben Parker.
Is the pig man, is that Eric? Is that his name?
No.
Zach John.
Zach.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zach. Didn't mean to get
Shout
your
out
name wrong.
Zach.
Shout out Zach. That was amazing. That was an amazing, perfectly put. I mean, you couldn't have wrote the script any better.
That was just pure joy.
That was amazing.
I mean, Zach was just pure joy.
It was all that anyone could talk about. I mean, yeah, the set list was amazing. We were excited to be, in West Palm Beach, but the pig, that was just everybody knew about it. If you weren't there, you knew about it. That there were stickers that were made with Zach's face on it and a little blow up pig costume. That thing went all year long. It was part of everyone's concert experience for the rest of the year.
Exactly.
That was great.
In fact, I actually gave out quite a bit of those pig stickers.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
That's exactly right. Well, Ben, we can't thank you for being just such a great friend and supporter. I know you and Heather both have just been such big friends of the show and promoting it again, because promoting it is exactly what we have to do in order to continue telling the story of the fans, because it takes the fans to tell the story, not just us, but everyone. So we need to continue to have people come forward. So thank you for helping me on my mission to document this time.
And as long as this podcast is still going and you allow me to do it, I will be here.
Awesome. Well, you're the best. Give Heather and the kids our love. And guys, have a Merry Christmas. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Christmas, Ben. Love you, bud.
All right. So Christmas, this is the third Christmas episode. So first Christmas episode, we did something a little crazy. If you did not listen to our first Christmas episode, again, I had literally just started this podcast. I started it at the end of November. That's when the teaser episode came out. And then first episode was beginning of December. So I want to say that the Christmas episode must have been third, fourth, fifth, something like that episode to ever come out.
And just as a disclosure here, it has nothing to do with the Dave Matthews Band. That first Christmas episode, nothing at all. So if you've not heard it and you just want to hear something a little different, hopefully a little funny and a little kooky, please go and listen.
And I'd love to know if you listen to it and you don't know what like if you get all the way through it and you don't know what you just listened to, please send me a message, because I have a SNL skit for you to watch that had made, like, it's made my whole life. Like, I love to talk about sweaty balls. Anytime I get the opportunity to talk about balls in my mouth or how they glisten, yes, I'm here to talk about it. And we did just that in our first Christmas
Yes,
episode.
we did.
So definitely check it out. That would have been December 2022.
It was magical.
It was
Magical.
glistening. It really glistened. And so check that out for sure. So second Christmas, fast forward to second Christmas, I did that. We were on YouTube at that point. And so I did that with Jason Dombrow, who's been such a good friend of the show. He lives in LA. He has a couple of YouTube channels himself talking about fashion. I believe it's called Fashion Nuts, NUTZ. So be sure to check it out. Talks about all things fashion. Jason is a lover of all things Dave Matthews Band, and so it's no surprise that he would find a podcast about the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. But I literally just met this guy in a parking lot at a Dave Matthews Band concert, and it changed my life forever. I saw him, I looked at him, and I said, we're going to be friends. And we were, just like that. And so he helped me. We did costume changes, of course, because I'm with Fashion Nuts. We did costume changes. We talked about fashion at concerts, because that's something.
Vegas.
Yeah.
We did Vegas.
We did Vegas together too with Jason. He helped do the first ever Dave Matthews Band fan runway,
red carpet.
Again, talking about fashion of from the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. Because if you think about it, these bracelets that we have on the tree, the glasses that we have, the swag that people make, the shirts that shout out Wilson makes, these shirts that we have gotten that are made by fans for the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. It's something we talk about. It's something, if you've never been to a Dave Matthews Band show, if you're not familiar, there's a group of people that wear glittery jackets that have glowing fire dancers on the back. And their group is called the Fosse Posse. That is because the last name of the person that started is Fosse, Fosse. So they've started this thing where they make these sequin jackets. You can order them. They have a fire dancer on the back. They stand out at concerts. We saw them at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for sure. And so again, this is just fashion that we see at concerts. People making their own shirts, people spreading the love of the Dave Matthews Band. And there's so many creative people out there.
There are.
We have been so lucky to be recipients of the Space Between podcasts. We've had so many fun things mailed to us at the very top of the tree. Our friend Marty McKinney in New Orleans, Louisiana, made that for the show. He actually brought it to Cleveland to give it to me at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And so big shout out to Marty. He's been such a big supporter of the show.
He makes so many keychains. He makes so many different 3D printed things that I don't know of anybody else, I think, that hands out more stuff than Marty. He brings backpacks, suitcases full of stuff just to give away out of his own kindness, of his own heart. I mean, he's amazing. We love you, Marty.
We love you. And if that name doesn't ring any bells, here's maybe a way that you would at least know who Marty is. So if you've ever seen a picture of the crowd, especially maybe right in front of the stage or near the stage at a Dave Matthews Band concert, and there was just like one person that stuck out in the crowd, like one person, you were like, whoa, that dude has like a neon yellow shirt on and it is glowing from the lights that are there for the concert. Everyone's noticed this dude. He's all over Facebook because he sticks out at every concert, because he has made it his mission to wear like that hazard yellow or orange or whatever, like construction worker wear, like gonna be seen, wanna be seen. Marty McKinney, he's such a big lover of the band, such a supporter of the fan community. And so we love him, but he makes so much really, really cool stuff with his 3D printer. So if you haven't checked out his stuff, definitely do. But it's been an amazing year. Is there anything in 2024 that stuck out to you?
Well, let's see. I would say, aside from the Hall of Fame, because that was pretty special, and not just for the Dave Matthews community, but for all the bands and all their fans. Like, that was just an experience of all experiences. And I was so grateful and thankful to get to go.
Yeah.
Shout out to, I don't know if you want to say his name.
We won't say his name, but yeah, connections.
We were blessed with a connection. And anyway, so that was an amazing experience. I would probably say, just as a one-off, most favorite experience was coming into West Palm Beach. I had a flight that was slightly delayed. Actually, it was a lot delayed. And I had a rental car flying into Fort Lauderdale. Get my rental car, hop in it, speed on down the highway, going north. It's about an hour or so drive up to West Palm Beach. I find a parking spot. I get out. I put my shirt on. I put my stuff on. I go into the venue. The first person I see, Marty McKinney, by the way. Imagine that. Grabbing a beer, literally about 5 minutes before the show starts. And my wife has told me that she's in the lawn. They've got kind of a front lawn, right dead center area or whatever. So I'm going over there, and I'm looking around because I know what I think she's supposed to be wearing. And she's actually wearing something completely different than what she was supposed to be wearing. However, seeing you at West Palm Beach in the lawn after that long journey just made everything worth it.
Oh my gosh.
It was great.
Oh my gosh.
And getting to experience that with her
so good.
it's amazing. That's something that I'll always love to do.
Oh my gosh.
So around the concerts and sometimes during the concerts can be a little crazy, but there are little moments like that I just love and cherish. So there you go.
That was really fun. That was a great moment.
That was a great moment.
Really great moment. I loved that.
Okay. You give the best hugs,
you know what?
By the way.
We've just had someone ring into the Space Between podcast.
All
What
right.
a change of events.
Hotline.
What is happening? Okay. I guess I'll answer my phone. Kind of busy right now recording a podcast. What? Hello? Is someone on the line? This is the Space Between podcast.
Hello, Miss Space Between. Lips. Kiss on my Lipsmeyer.
Is this Christine?
It is Justin.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good, sweet girl. How are you?
Good. Just got done with dinner with a whole bunch of family, and that was only a little itty bitty part of my family. So,
well, that's amazing.
Awesome.
That's the time of year to be with as much family as you can be, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No fist fights breaking out, only kisses and hugs. So,
hey, there you go. Love is all around.
So
exactly.
we are literally live recording right now. And so everyone, I know, surprise. Surprise.
I'm so glad I was appropriate.
Hey, I wish you would have been more inappropriate. We like to mix it up a little bit.
I try to be appropriate, but sometimes the effort eludes me.
There's times. So I've been asking everyone one question. So this is the Christmas episode. So we're doing a lot of reflecting on 2024 and what our personal years have looked like when it comes to the band and the music. Is there anything that really sticks out to you personally when it comes to the 2024 year?
Well, gosh, a whole lot sticks out to me. I mean, just experiences with everyone. Like I never imagined I'd be going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Things like that. I didn't expect for one of my DMB besties to reach out to me to want to share a room and snuggle with me in Mexico.
Oh, who was that?
I don't know.
Lucky you.
Buddies. I know, Justin. I know.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, no, and just being able to share so many experiences with everyone. I mean, somebody said to me the other day, what are you going to do? Stop touring. And I said, well, I still will have my friends. I mean,
it's true.
That's right.
It's my
all the people you've met.
Yes. And the people you care about. Sure, there's people you don't care about. But that's the way it is in the world.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're gonna continue to cling to people that you connect with on so many levels, you know?
Yeah.
And that sounds really simple. It sounds kind of silly, but
I like it.
that's as much as
I like it. I like it. I think you're right. I think, yeah, we don't talk about it enough. The connections that we're making are not temporary. They're not just during the life of this band, however long that is. It is how we as adults have made other relationships. You know, we've made friends just like children do in school. You know, we have made friends through this common thread that we have, which is the Dave Matthews Band. And when the music is no longer live, we will still have each other's lives.
You just linked all that shit right
Hell
together.
yeah.
It's beautiful and poetic.
Thank you. It's the Christmas episode.
That's right.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
You know, what connects people is always going to connect people.
That's right.
And, you know, that's either the kind of person you are, it is. And I really believe that the people that I've connected with and I'm still friends with will always have some pertinence in my life.
Yeah.
I can't imagine not. I just can't.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I don't think you're going to have to. So, you know,
because I know where you live.
I know you've been my house, so you could hunt me down. And so,
Yeah, you can hunt us down and I'll make you breakfast.
Oh gosh.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my God.
Justin, you and I understand the importance of bacon grease.
100%.
Bacon grease is important.
Bacon grease is a must in any non-vegan household.
Yes. And you know what? This is what we knew that we loved about each other immediately. When I'm like, okay, Justin, we're making pancakes.
Hell yeah.
You're going to put some bacon grease in there?
That's
Well,
right.
Yeah, I'm going to put some bacon grease in there.
That's all I put in there. Hello.
Pancakes and bacon grease.
Bacon grease and love.
Yes.
That's right. Because bacon is the candy of meat. And that is love.
Oh, you're speaking my love language now, girl.
This episode is all about love. The Christmas episode. Love, love, love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Bacon.
And bacon.
And bacon.
Yes.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true. It's true.
guys
Well,
are
listen,
so
we will
funny.
see you in just a few short weeks.
Yes, we will.
I can't wait to meet you on the sandy beaches of Riviera Maya, Mexico.
Yes.
Oh, it's so fancy.
It is very fancy. And we're just talking about sand.
But you're talking about it's not just the sand, it's just who's around you in the sand.
Actually, I don't think I got in the sand much. Well, I guess the concerts are in the sand, but like other than that, I wasn't in the sand because
You're in the pool.
we're in the pool. Yeah, we're in the pool.
Exactly.
Well, we love you. Thank you for being such a big
Love you
supporter of the
guys.
show, and we will see you in a few weeks in Mexico.
Yes, you will. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Good to
Christmas.
You
Merry
and all
Christmas.
your family.
Yes.
Hugs and kisses.
Will do. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and Happy New Year's to you, sweetheart.
Okay, bye, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, guys, that is pretty much 2024 in a nutshell.
Mhm.
All we need is a nutcracker
Cracker.
on
Well,
this Christmas episode. Thank you so much for listening. I know that this was a longer episode, but really, I think all of the episodes have been about an hour. It's hard to tell a story
it
in
is.
less than an hour when
It is.
you have a podcast, right?
That's right.
'Cause there are
You're
15.
casting your pods, and sometimes that takes longer than just
We're
a half
casting
hour.
those pods. I don't know, like, is it a Tide Pod?
No, Tide Pods. Don't eat
Don't
Tide
them?
Pod. No, don't cast.
No Tide Pods
No,
here.
no.
Just the space between pods.
Just the space between. That's it.
Yes. Well, guys, if you're listening to this again, thank you so much for sharing part of your year with us. Hopefully, we have helped you connect more to the music that you already loved. Hopefully, we have shared some feelings with you that you could connect with, whether that was just through the bond of the music or through the bond of loss, the bond of love, the bond of grief. There are so many different ways this music has impacted the lives of the fans. And so thank you for letting me continue to share the story. Definitely, if you haven't reached out to me and you would like to share your personal journey with the band, you don't You don't have to have any prerequisites. All you have to have is a love for the Dave Matthews Band. You don't have to have gone to any shows ever. It's just a conversation about what the music has done to your heart, which is a great story that I hope to be so telling for a long, long time and into 2025. So 2025, we shall go, babe. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay.
Almost ready.
Almost ready.
So got another week or so
yeah,
before
we got a week left. But guys, thank you so much for letting us hopefully tickle your funny bone every once in a while, because that's our goal. We just want to love on people, make you laugh, whether it's because you think we're stupid or because you think we're funny. But laughter is good medicine.
We don't care. As long as you laugh, that's all that matters.
You burn calories and you have released a hormone called oxytocin. And so that is the nurse that has the podcast about music and how it can change your life just by releasing special hormones in your body to make you feel good. And music has the power to do that. So guys, until 2025, peace, love, and Dave Matthews Band. Peace out.